Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back in the video today, and today I'm going to be doing my Houston Texans mock draft 4.0, and I'm excited to do this. I'm going to be doing 4.0 right here, right now, and I'm going to be doing 5.0 either the night before the draft or the day or morning of the draft. So excited to do that tonight and then upcoming days. So draft first rounds Thursday. I'm going to be doing the Houston Tech, my predictions for the Houston, or what I think the Texans should do for the first 5 picks. The Texans have 2 first rounders, 1 second rounder, which is the second pick in the second round, which is basically like having another first round pick, to be honest, and 2 third rounders. So let's get started. With the second overall pick, the Houston Texans select C.J. Stroud. Even all the some of the doubts and some doubt of the Texans bringing in C.J. Stroud due to, Nick Caserio or the Texans organization having some doubt about Stroud or possibly Richardson. It didn't say who, whether it was Stroud, Richardson, or Levis, but they had a little bit of doubts at quarterback at 2. Although, and I think maybe D'Amico might think about adding in Will Anderson for his defense, because I think he's going to want to make that. I don't think he's going to make that the Texans defense top 5 or top 10 in his first season as a Texan, as the Texans head coach, but I think that is his ultimate goal, is making the Texans defense top 5, top 10 in the NFL. So that is, I think, a reason why he might consider Will Anderson at 2. But I do think the Texans select C.J. Stroud. I just made a video talking about if the Texans should give Mills another chance, and although I would like the potential idea, I think the Texans have to go with C.J. Stroud at 2. And then at 12, I have the Houston Texans selecting C.J. Stroud's teammate at Ohio State. And you're going to see another Ohio State teammate of C.J. Stroud in this video later in my mock draft. I got the Houston Texans selecting Jackson Smith-Njigba, wide receiver. Played with C.J. Stroud at Ohio State, and I think it's a perfect move. I've heard a couple Texans, not a lot, like 1 or 2 Texans fans say, well, I don't know why we would draft the wide receiver at 12 instead of defense when we already have Noah Brown, Robert Woods, John Mechie, and Nico Collins. If C.J. Stroud is coming at the quarterback, you're going to have a heavy wide receiver room because he needs a lot of. I'm not saying C.J. Stroud is a bad quarterback without good wide receivers, but C.J. Stroud needs a heavy wide receiver room and a lot of talent in the wide receiver room. And adding in Njigba with Mechie, Collins, Woods, and Brown, it's just a stacked wide receiver room. Plus Dalton Schultz at the tight end and Singletary and Pierce at the running backs. Stroud has himself a really solid offense as for a rookie. But yeah, moving on to pick number 30 So it's pick number 33 of the draft. I have the Texans selecting Mazi Smith, defensive end from Michigan. Texans are looking to add in a defensive end at Michigan. I think this is a perfect pick. Good rusher, good pass, good run defender as well. Good at stopping the run. I think he'd be a perfect addition to the Texans defense. Then at 65, I think it is for the Texans. At 65, I have the Texans getting one of the positions they need and a former Ohio State alum, just like C.J. Stroud. At the Texans pairing his former center from Ohio State. I have the Texans selecting Luke Weipler from Ohio State. I think it's the perfect move. You need a center really bad. You still have Questenberry. They signed somebody else from the Dolphins, who's not a starter. So I think in that case, the Texans will need to add in Luke Weipler at 65. And then at 73, I have the at 65, I have the Texans selecting Weipler at 73. And then at 65, I have the Texans selecting Clark Phillips III at the cornerback from Utah. I like that to add in an extra corner next to Stingley. Right now, the Texans don't really have that much of a strong corner next to Stingley. Right now, it's Stingley, and I guess Desmond King would be the second starter. And he's kind of a little bit more of a safety. He can play corner, but he's more of a safety. He's more fit like a safety. And also, I think the Texans, as King, as he rises up in age, I think the Texans, it'd be nice to draft a corner in the 3rd round. And then, so draft Phillips at 65, and then Weipler at 73, and then at 33, Mozzie Smith, 12, Jackson Smith-Jigba, and at 2, C.J. Stroud. I want you guys to let me know what's your thoughts on my mock draft, my Houston Texans mock draft 4.0. That's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and peace out. Go Texans.